Alrighty, I'm here with the two main men that keep the train running. Both Ricky and Jesse have graced us with our presence, the CEO and the event coordinator. I mean, guys, it was quite a fight night. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on just some of the card, some of the fights that occurred, some of the fighters. Starting out, if you had to pick a fight of the night, gun to your head, who are you going with?
So me and Ricky talked about this at the event and afterwards, and we have to say that the main event title fight between Mike Fraser and Jerome Huger was definitely the fight of the night, just because it was a closely contested fight between two really skilled fighters that also brought large crowds, right? It was really close. It was back and forth. The crowd loved it, and I think that is the perfect main event that any promotion could ask for. It totally delivered.
So I agree with Jess. So we talked about that, and I have to say, Jerome Huger, how this guy did improve himself from the last fight, it was just amazing. To be honest, I was not accepting those improvements by him, and he did absolutely great. And big respect to his gym, the Fight Lab. They did a great job, and to fight a guy like Mike Fraser is not easy. Mike Fraser is a top guy. He's really good prepared. I never see a guy like him, 19 years old, training so hard. So when Jerome Huger came and he fight for 5 rounds, and he did really, really good. So it was a really close fight, and I think the points was why Mike win is, I think, in the end of the 3 rounds, Mike used more the legs. So, but end of the day was a great fight, great performance of both fighters, and I think they have both a bright future.
If there was, let's just switch over from the fights, right, to the fighters. You guys don't necessarily give out Fighter of the Night awards, but if you were to, which out of the crop of guys, everyone was talented, everyone put on a great show, which guy or guys would you say you would give Fighter of the Night to?
So we reviewed the fights. We were obviously there watching them live. We have to say that Brandon Watson and Charlie Cabrera fought their hearts out for the 135 Gamma kickboxing title. We have to give out 2 fighters of the night here. I mean, both of them went at it. The crowd loved it. Back and forth. They were both hurt at different times in the fight. We don't think it's right unless we give both of those fighters, a fighter of the night, a shout out.
Any up-and-coming guys? Any phenoms that you were really impressed by, maybe had a breakthrough, anything like that on the card?
So we were thinking about that as well. And after watching the entire event, we have to say 2 fighters really did come to mind. The first would be Nima Sherpa of the Korean Tiger and Striking 101 teams. Nima is in the beginning of his amateur fighting career, and if you were a casual fan in the crowd, you would not know it. He came in against a really, really popular opponent who had the crowd really riled up, and that's a scary thing for a young fighter. But Nima remained composed, and he did his thing, and he won. The other fighter we talked about was Robert Cummings from the Arena under Elvis Gashi. Robert did the same exact thing. If you had never seen him fight before, you would have assumed he was an experienced fighter that had been doing this a long time, and he's right at the beginning of his fighting career.
Talk to me about October 29th, because this event was very, very fun. It was big. This event's going to be bigger. This event has been promised to be the biggest in all of New York State, right? One of the biggest of this year for you guys. So talk to me about who's fighting, your guys' expectations, and promote it a little bit, give it a little bit of hype.
Yeah, so I think this card is going to be the biggest mixed card in New York State. We're going to have some great fights. So I'm going to announce now the fight between Brandon Watson and Matt Rivera. Brandon Watson is going to defend his title against Matt Rivera. I promise this fight is going to be fire, a really good fight. I'm really happy we make this fight happen. Also, we're going to have 2 fighters. They drop 5 pounds in weight. They're going to fight at 150. It's Jerome Huger against Jose Rodriguez. Why we decide to give Jerome Huger another title shot is, again, this guy did a great fight against Mike Fraser. He did a great improvement, and he absolutely deserved to fight now against Jose Rodriguez for the Gamma New York State title. And we are really happy to announce this fight.
Any closing statements? Anyone that you want to maybe thank or anything like that?
We just want to give a big thank you to Gamma United States, to Tom Kilkenny for always helping us, for always being a part of RFC, trying to help us to sanction the event. Also, big thank you to New York State Athletic Commission. And the biggest thank you goes on the teams. Without the teams, this event will be never happen. All the New York State teams, we have the biggest teams, mixed martial arts team in New York State, part of our event. I have to mention, we have always Jackson Wink here in our event, and some good gyms. So I really appreciate them all, and I just want to say thank you to all of them.
Alrighty, guys. See you October 29th.
Absolutely. See you
there.